Bonjour, c'est Virginie and you are watching Virginie TV, your destination to become a little bit French. Tonight we're all going to celebrate the new year. Bonne année 2016 à tous. Bonne année 2016 à tous. Happy New Year 2016 to all of you. I hope that you achieve everything you want to achieve. I decided that to start the new year, you and I, the best way to do that was to make it a little bit French, of course. So that's why my first event this year on Friday, January 22nd is called Become a Little Bit French. If you want to know how to sound French, how to look French, how to act French, then get your tickets now. It's going to be a blast. One way to do that is to understand the French language. There's one thing that the French have been and still are extremely proud of, and that is their language, le français. So, to introduce the event and to start the new year in a French way, you and I decided to point out 5 crucial dates, hugely important dates in the history of French language. Here we go. 842, 842. That is the official birth of the French language. Why? Because in 842, something called le Traité de Strasbourg, Traité means oath, and Strasbourg is a city in France, in eastern France. Le Traité de Strasbourg was written in French, and that is the first time it happened. Usually, oaths are written in what language? Latin. That's right, Latin, because of course France was invaded by the Roman Empire, and it's not until 842 that an oath for the first time is written and pronounced in French. 1539, 1539. Have you ever heard of the French king François Ier? He's one of the great French kings. And one of the things, amongst others, that he introduced to France was la Renaissance. I am now going to read to you a very important text written by François Ier in 1539. Nous voulons désormais que tout arrêt, contrat, sentence, testament et autres actes de justice soient prononcés en langage maternel français. So I'm going to repeat this again and I put the translation on the screen for you to see. Nous voulons désormais que tout arrêt, contrat, sentence, testament et autres actes de justice soient prononcés en langage maternel français. And that was François Ier in 1539, meaning from that moment, all of the official documentation is no longer written in Latin, but French only. 1635, 1635. So that's about a century after this great text from François Ier. And 1635 is the date of the creation of the Académie Francaise. I'm sure you've heard of the Académie Francaise, maybe you've even seen it in Paris. So in 1635, it was decided to have this Académie to protect and also to sustain the French language. And it's been hugely useful and efficient. It still exists today. One of the ways that you can see it's been very helpful is that you can, if you're French or if your French is excellent, you can pick up a book from the 17th century, let's say Molière, who was a very famous playwright, and you can pretty much understand it. It's really not that different from today's French. On the other side, I have heard that Shakespeare is now being translated into modern English so that people whose maternal language is English can actually understand him. So you can see it's quite different from French. L'Académie Francaise is also famous today for not liking all the franglais that is entering the French language. So what is franglais? All of these words that we borrow from English, but we just use like that in English. It's not really incorporated into our French language. So for instance, we say things like le meeting, le scooter, le weekend, and l'Académie Francaise does not like that at all because it's an offense to the French language. Le XVIIe siècle, le XVIIIe siècle, the 17th century and the 18th century. In those two centuries, the French language is spoken all over Europe. It is the language of excellence and it's spoken in all the European courts. Why is that? Well, first of all, think about all the French literature and all the French philosophers. French really represents something quite different. It has all this ideas of elegance and aristocracy and freedom and great thinkers. Here are a few of these French great thinkers of the 17th and 18th century. Our last day for today, 1919. In 1919 was signed le Traité de Versailles, which was the treaty that ended the First World War, le Traité de Versailles. And for the first time, a European treaty is written in French and in English. Before that, all of documents like that, even when France was not involved, even if it was an armistice between countries that had nothing to do with France, they were all written in French. But in 1919, for the first time, it is written in French and English. From that moment in 1919, the English language starts to take over. However, there are still about 200 million people on this planet who speak French, and I just learned this morning that there were 250,000 French teachers in the world. So obviously there's also a lot of people who are learning on top of the 200 million people who already speak it. Et voilà, c'est terminé pour aujourd'hui. We are done for today. I hope you loved the video and I hope it makes you want to come to our event on January 22nd, that is a Friday. It is called How to Become a Little Bit French, and I'm going to show you how to sound French, how to act French, how to look French, etc. So you can start the new year, the new 2016, in your best French style. I am adding the link for the event underneath this video, so go for it, click on it and sign up for the event. You can also subscribe for my channel Virginie TV, and then of course spread the French love. Share this video with your friends, you will make them and me happy. This was your French friend Virginie helping you become a little bit French. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.